My name is Ethan. I am 33, the oldest in a family that runs on group chats. Guilt, and we will sort it out later. I am a project manager by day and a dad of 2 by night. Maya is 6 and thinks glitter is a personality trait, and Noah is 4 and welded to a tiny blue dinosaur named Bert. I pay bills on time, carry snacks in my backpack, and remember everyone's birthdays. My sister Jenna is 28 and currently the bride. Capitals, very much intended. I have always been the one who shows up. When Jenna forgot her rent in grad school, I paid it. When Dad's car died, I co-signed a loan. When Mom's crown fell out the week of Christmas, I covered the dentist. "You are so steady," Mom says. It sounds like a compliment until you realize steady just means available. A month before the wedding, I wired a deposit to hold the venue after Jenna's fiancé Tyler misunderstood the invoice and sent it late. 2 weeks later, I handled the string quartet because Jenna's plate is full. The cake, the shuttle buses, the welcome bags, my credit card, my spreadsheet. I was not keeping score. I told myself, it is family. It is Jenna. She was the kid sister who wore my hoodies and called me from dorm bathrooms when she felt small. I wanted her big day to be perfect. On a Tuesday at 7:40 to 2 p.m., while I was kneeling on the kitchen floor assembling a cardboard rocket for a school project, my phone burst. Family group chat. A flood of photos. Jenna's hair trial, a blurry flat lay of invitations, a boomerang of champagne, then a separate message, a new bubble just for me. Do not show up to the wedding with your kids. I stared at it. That was the whole sentence. No greeting. No, hello big bro. No, we have decided on a child-free ceremony. No offer to arrange a sitter, just an order. I swallowed and typed, they will sit with me at the back. We will leave early if they melt down. Before my second bubble sent, she fired again. Actually, it is better if you do not come if you cannot follow the rules. Something in my chest did a slow twist. I could hear Maya in the living room singing the alphabet to Bert. I could smell the microwave popcorn Noah insists is dinner corn. I called Jenna. She did not pick up. A minute later, my screen lit up with a new message. This time in the wedding chat where the bridesmaids and aunts and my parents lurk. Jenna, reminder. Ceremony is strictly child-free, no exceptions. We want an elegant vibe. 2 bridesmaids hit it with hearts. Mom added a confetti emoji. Dad sent a thumbs up, then Jenna again. Jenna, it is not personal. Some people just do not fit the aesthetic. The word some sat there like a wet napkin. People, my kids. I typed, their family. Then deleted it. I typed, I have already paid for the shuttle and half the cake. Deleted that too. I put my phone face down and listened to the kettle click off. The rocket ship lay in pieces. I could feel the familiar pull, the old reflex to make myself smaller, to apologize for taking up space, to fix a problem I did not create. Another ding. A private text from Jenna. Please do not make this hard. Tyler's parents are traditional. We need it perfect. You know how you are with boundaries. How I am with boundaries. I sat very still. No caps, no hello, no please and thank you. Just a soft eraser rubbing out my kids, rubbing out me. I did not answer. Not then. I walked to the living room, kissed Maya's glittery forehead, tucked a blanket around Noah and Bert, and let the silence pool around me like cold water. I thought about every bill I had paid these past few months. I thought about how love can look like I will handle it until one day it looks like we assumed you would. At 8:03 p.m., my phone chimed one more time. A screenshot, my name moved from very important person family table to reserved if needed. No caption. I put the phone down, I breathed, and for the first time in a long time, I did not rush to fix anything. If you asked my mother to describe me, she would say, Ethan is reliable. If you asked my father, he would say, Ethan has a good head. If you asked Jenna, she would grin and say, Ethan makes things happen, translation across the board, Ethan pays. It did not start with the wedding. It started years ago when Jenna's roommate bailed, and she needed first and last month's rent just until the refund posts, when her tires wore down to bald and she had no safe way to get to class. When Dad's hours were cut, and the mortgage got tight, and we will pay you back after tax season. Every request arrived with urgency and a code of reason, and it always landed on me. I was the one with the spreadsheet, the emergency fund, the calm voice on speakerphone, while they read me numbers off bills. Mom's favorite line, you know, we would do it for you. She would say it while I was reading out my card number. She never had to do it for me because I built my life like a brick wall. Boring, sturdy, weatherproof. I was not flashy like Tyler, the fiancé with the perfect smile, and the father who says words like legacy the way other people say lasagna. I was not cute chaos like Jenna, who could forget to pay a parking ticket and then charm the judge with a story about a lost puppy. I was the guy who called utilities at lunch. When Jenna got engaged, my first instinct was joy straight through. I took photos of her ring. I hugged Tyler. I offered unprompted to cover the rehearsal dinner. I told her I would book something special for the honeymoon as my gift. She cried, "You always know what to do." What I did not expect was how fast gift would slide into obligation. A week later, "Could you send the deposit for the venue? Tyler's dad is transferring money, but the bank is weird." 2 days after that, we went over on the floral budget just for now. Then the quartet, then the makeup artist, then the shuttle buses for out-of-towners because we do not want anyone drinking and driving. Safety first. Each time I said yes. I told myself kindness comes back around. Meanwhile, a different drip. Jenna's language around the kids shifted from "I cannot wait to dance with them" to "we are doing black tie" to "we are leaning minimalist" to finally "no kids, non-negotiable." I asked for a conversation. She sent me a Pinterest board. At the tasting, when I brought up setting up a small corner with crayons and a sitter during the reception, Jenna laughed like I had told a joke that did not land. "Ethan, this is a curated experience," Tyler added. "My parents have standards." He said it kindly, like he was complimenting me for recognizing a staircase. Mom squeezed my arm. "Let it go. It is her day." Dad said, "Do not rock the boat." It was not just the kids. It was the way I started getting edited out of my own generosity. The rehearsal dinner moved from the little Italian place I loved where the owner knows my name and slips extra meatballs to the kids, to a rooftop where the cheapest appetizer was half a car payment. "It photographs better," Jenna said. "You are still paying though, right? You said you wanted to." Then came the honeymoon. I had secretly booked them a 2-week island package months before. Flights, boutique hotels, a spa day, and a sunset dinner on a private beach. $14,000 altogether, paid in full under my account so I could surprise them at the rehearsal speech, with a neat bow and a QR code. I told the agent to keep it quiet until I gave the go-ahead. "We can add their names later," she said. "Everything is refundable until 7 days before travel." I set reminders. I imagined Jenna's face when she found out. I wanted one big bright memory that said, "I showed up for you." Then Jenna started showing me who you was. A week after the hair trial text, she removed me from the vendor Slack. "Just streamlining communication," she wrote. The escort card mock-up did not have my name. When I asked, she replied, "You will be at a service table for speeches and MC coordination. Easier that way." I had not agreed to MC anything. I had not agreed to be staff. I kept waiting for someone to say, "Hold on." Mom did not. She said, "Do not be sensitive." Dad said, "Pick your battles." Tyler's mother sent me a polite email about tuxedo shades and avoiding navy because it photographs cheaper. The small crack turned Fisher the night of the seating chart. Jenna FaceTimed me from her couch. Her wine glass had a bow tied around the stem. Her socks said bride in glitter. "Okay, do not be weird," she began. "But if you bring the kids to the welcome party, can you keep them outside for photos? I want the grid clean." I laughed. I thought we were teasing. We were not. "I am serious," she said. "They do not fit the theme." "The theme is family," I said. She rolled her eyes. "The theme is modern romantic. You are making it about you again. Again." There it was. The family word of the year. I put my phone down after that and let the silence grow moss. For the next few days, I did what I always do. I worked, packed lunchboxes, double-knotted tiny shoes, answered work emails with 3 emojis, so I seemed human. The wedding chat buzzed like a beehive. I was not allowed to approach. Then came the text, "Do not show up to the wedding with your kids." And after it, the quieter edits. My table changed. My speech moved to maybe. My name shifted from family to logistics. Aunt Carla called to play peacemaker. She said, "You know how your sister is. She stressed." I said, "I know." She added, "You are strong, she is fragile." I kept hearing that you are strong like being sturdy means I do not bruise. That weekend, Tyler's parents hosted a champagne brunch. We were not invited. Mom sent me photos anyway. "Look how classy," she wrote. In one picture, there is a chalkboard sign beyond this point. Jenna is laughing under it, head thrown back like the world is made of gold light. That night, I opened my honeymoon file for the first time in weeks. I looked at the total. I scrolled the itinerary. I stared at the button that said cancel for full refund until 7 days prior. I closed the laptop. I went to tuck in Maya. She asked if she could wear a twirly dress to Aunt Jelly's party. She still cannot say Jenna. I told her we would see. She spun anyway. Noah made Bert kiss the nightlight. My chest went heavy and hot. I thought maybe I am the one who built this. this version of me who makes it easy to erase me. Then Jenna's name lit my phone again, and the eraser went to work. The breaking point was not loud. It was not a public blow-up with tossed bouquets and overturned chairs. It was a Tuesday night Zoom titled Final Run Through Vendor Logistics, which is funny because apparently I was a vendor. Everyone was there. Jenna in a white sweatshirt that said wifey, Tyler grinning, Mom on mute but nodding like a bobblehead, Dad with his reading glasses down his nose, the planner with a clipboard, and me in my home office with a half-built train set behind me because NOAA demands moral support for tunnels. We ran through timing. We ran through photo lists. We ran through rain plans. There was none manifest. Jenna said right at the end. Jenna cleared her throat. So, she said, about the no kids policy, we are firm. Ethan, if it is too hard for you, we understand if you skip the ceremony and just come to the after party. Mom jumped in, yes. Then he will not be tempted. Tempted like my children were cupcakes. I felt my face go still, which for me is the same as screaming. My palms were dry. My voice came out calm. I hear you, I said, and since we are clarifying, I'm going to clarify too. I shared my screen. A folder opened. Receipts line items scrolled up like a small, boring parade. Venue deposit, quartet, shuttle, makeup, rehearsal, dinner deposit, hotel block, incidentals. Jenna promised to reimburse but forgot, all with my name, my card, my signature. I covered these, I said voluntarily, because I love my sister. Jenna waved a hand, and we are grateful. Hold on, I said. I clicked to the second tab. Honeymoon confirmation, 2 flights, 13 nights, excursions. Total balance $14,087. Paid by Ethan Morgan. Status, fully refundable until Friday, 11:59 p.m. Tyler leaned forward. What is this? That, I said, was going to be my gift at the rehearsal dinner. Silence. Mom smiled. Too bright, Ethan, that is, it is too much. It was, I said. It also comes with conditions now. Minimal ones, human ones. My kids sit in the very back with me for the ceremony. I will bring coloring books. If they fuss, we slip out. No reception chaos. Just a chair for their father to look at his sister and clap. Jenna laughed. Ethan, you cannot buy your way into exceptions. My jaw tightened. I am not buying anything. I am telling you what I need to attend my own family's event. If that makes me the problem, then I will remove myself and my money from the problem. Dad finally spoke. Son, do not be transactional. I looked straight at him through the camera. Then stop treating me like a transaction. The planner coughed. Perhaps we can... Jenna cut her off. No, the answer is no. No kids. Full stop. Take your money back if you want. We do not need strings. There it was. Clean. Final. I nodded once. Okay. I stopped screen share. The folder blinked out. The planner stammered something about timelines. I clicked leave meeting. The computer made a soft sound like a lid closing. I sat alone in a room that smelled faintly of glue and train tracks. I did not cry. I did not text Aunt Carla for a debrief. I did not pace the hallway. I opened the honeymoon portal, hovered over the button, and did the simplest thing I have done in years. I clicked cancel. The refund confirmation landed in my inbox with the most peaceful subject line I have ever read. Your funds are on the way. Then I opened a new tab. I booked myself a flight to Paris, a cheap seat with a long layover and a window. I picked a little hotel above a bakery I have had saved since 2017. I chose dates that started the day after their wedding. I added 2 tickets to a puppet show at a tiny theater because Google said kids laugh there until they fall over. I did not share a screenshot. I did not send a single word. When I closed the laptop, my phone was lighting up. Mom, first Ethan, do not be dramatic. Jenna, did you just threaten us? Tyler, this is inappropriate. Dad, we will talk in the morning. I set the phone face down again. No speeches, no more receipts, just a boundary so quiet it sounded like rest. The morning after the Zoom, I made waffles shaped like dinosaurs. Maya named hers Princess Crunch. Noah fed Bert syrup and apologized to him for sticky paws. I turned my phone off and took the kids to the park. Sun, swings, the ordinary mercy of air. Every so often I felt the phantom buzz of a message that was not coming through because I had shut the door on it. At lunch, Aunt Carla found me. Anyway, she has a sixth sense for family fires. Your mother is spiraling, she said without hello. Jenna says you are holding her honeymoon hostage. Not hostage, I said. Return to sender. She is crying, Aunt Carla said. She says you embarrassed her in front of the planner. I stared at the aunts performing logistics under the bench. She told me not to come to her wedding. Aunt Carla exhaled into the phone. I know. I told her she was cruel. She lowered her voice. They expect you to apologize. There it was, the family choreography. I pictured the text in the group chat, the tone. Ethan overreacted, but he is our rock. He will come around. He always does. I felt the words slide off me like water. That afternoon, I forwarded a final email to the planner. Please remove me from all payments going forward. The deposits already paid are gifts. No further charges authorized. She wrote back a single line, understood, wishing you peace. On Thursday, Tyler called. We can compromise, he said. Ceremony is child-free. Bring them to the brunch. The brunch is at a vineyard that bans under 10. I said, silence. Then, you are making this punitive. I am making it honest, I said. I am not attending an event where my kids are treated like trash bags that ruin the photo. He bristled. No one said trash. They did, I said, with their actions. I expected more calls. I got fewer. The group chat kept humming without me. Photos of escort cards, last lash appointment, Tyler's cufflinks. I stayed quiet. At night, I packed for Paris. 2 tiny backpacks, a stash of fruit snacks, tiny headphones, 3 matching socks because the 4th fled under a couch somewhere in 2019. I printed the puppet show tickets and tucked them into my passport. The refund hit my account on Friday at 10:14 a.m. like a hand unclenching. Friday night, Jenna texted again, final reminder, no kids. Hope you can be mature about this. I did not respond. Saturday, wedding day, I woke up before the kids. The house was blue, gray, and soft. I brewed coffee and watched steam scroll up. And for a second, I almost caved. I almost texted, we will sit outside. We will stand behind a tree. We will be quiet. That old reflex is a stubborn muscle. Then I looked at the little plane tickets on the counter and thought about Maya's face when the Eiffel Tower lights up and Noah's squeal when a puppet trips over its shoe on purpose in the caving past. At noon, 3 things happened in 11 minutes. The planner emailed the wedding party, small hiccup. Hotel cannot check Jenna and Tyler into the honeymoon suite because the card on file declined. Tyler texted me a screenshot of said decline with, can you fix this? I flipped my phone to do not disturb. By 3, my phone had 29 missed calls. By 5, 61. When I put the kids to bed, it said 97. The voicemail spooled out like a radio play. Mom, Ethan, this is not who you are. You are better than this. Jenna, I cannot believe you would ruin my day over your ego. You are disgusting. Tyler's mother, we are appalled. Dad, I raised you to take care of family. A breath, then another voice I did not expect. Grandma's sister Ruth, honey, I am proud of you. I saved that one. What I heard later, pieced from a cousin's post-mortem, felt like a math problem you can solve in your head because every step is familiar. The venue insisted on full payment before the ceremony. A card Tyler planned to use had a daily limit no one understood. The surprise card Jenna thought was arriving after the sparkler exit needed a different name on the reservation. The room block incidentals were on my account until they were not. Each little lever I had been quietly holding got released and everything groaned under its own weight. They still got married. Of course they did. The photos look fine if you do not look too long. A lot of close crops, a lot of black and white. Not a single wide shot of a family row where my kids would have been bumping their knees against chairs. The next morning, I buckled Maya and Noah into their seats and drove to the airport. Maya pressed her nose to the window and narrated every plane like it was a pet. Noah asked if Paris had pancakes. I said yes, and if it did not, we would bring some. On the plane, while the kids chewed gummy bears, I opened a text from Aunt Carla. Aunt Carla, your mother says you broke Jenna's heart. Me? Jenna erased my children. A beat. Aunt Carla, then go make new pictures. We took off. Clouds like torn paper. Maya slept on my arm. Noah snored softly into Bert's plastic eye. Over the Atlantic, with the cabin lights dim and the map crawling east, I felt something I had not felt in years. Quiet that was not empty. In Paris, the kids laughed at pigeons like they were comedians. We ate bread that flaked on our shirts. We rode a carousel at dusk and waved at strangers like we were in a movie. The puppet show was ridiculous and perfect. When the tower lit up, Maya whispered, "It is wearing sparkles like ant jelly." And I laughed for the first time since the rocket ship night. Honest and easy. Back at the hotel, I scrolled once through wedding photos a cousin had uploaded. Jenna looked beautiful. Tyler looked like a man who will one day learn the difference between standards and snobbery. My parents looked smaller than I remember. I put the phone face down again and watched my kids breathe. The next afternoon, a final volley. Mom, when you get back, we are having a family meeting. Be an adult. Me? I am. She replied with a paragraph about duty and how you do not punish people for not accommodating you. I did not answer. I walked to the balcony. A man in the street below tuned a guitar. Someone dropped a spoon. A lady shouted to a dog named Bruno. My children slept in a pile of limbs and dinosaur tail. I did not feel triumphant. I felt level, like a table finally has all four legs on the ground. When we came home, I did not attend a family meeting. I sent one email. Subject, boundaries. Body, I love you. Going forward, I will not fund, coordinate, or apologize for events that exclude my children or diminish me. The deposits I paid are gifts. Keep them with peace. I will not be available for emergency rescues caused by someone else's choices. If you speak about me to others, speak truthfully or not at all. If you want a relationship with me, you will have one with my kids. I am not angry. I am finished. I expected an explosion. I got a drizzle. Dad replied with, "You are dramatic." Mom called twice, then stopped. Jenna sent 3 dots, then nothing. Tyler wrote, "We will revisit when things calm down." Things did not calm down. Things clarified. Weeks passed. On Saturdays, instead of driving to cake tastings, I took my kids to the library. We built rockets out of paper towel rolls and actually launched them. I coached Maya's first soccer practice. Noah fed Bert to a mud puddle and required a full bath, which he declared a victory. My house felt lighter, like someone opened a window. Family did not disappear, it changed shape. Aunt Ruth mailed the kids postcards with lighthouses drawn in crayons. A cousin texted, "I am sorry we clapped at the no kids rule." I did not think. My mother sent photos of centerpieces and wrote, "It was tasteful," as if that were the point. It is not. One night, Jenna called. I did not expect to pick up. I did. She did not start with an apology. She started with a breath. I saw the Paris photos. She said the carousel looked happy. It was, I thought. A perfect wedding would fix everything. She said it did not. It never does, I said. Fixing is not its job. Silence, then quietly, "I hurt you." "You erased my kids," I said. "That is the part that matters." Another silence. "I am sorry," she said. And I could tell she had to pull the word through a fence to get it out. "I do not know how to fix it." "You do not," I said. "You start different." We did not solve it on that call. We did not set brunch. We did not exchange bullet points. But a door that had been dead-bolted from both sides cracked open on a hinge. Here is the moral I wish I had learned younger. Love is not a coupon code. If your love only works when I pay, that is not love. If family requires my silence, that is not family. Boundaries are not punishment. They are the shape that makes real care possible. I look at my kids now and think, this is the photo. The wide shot, messy and loud, without filters. If you cannot make space for them, you cannot have me. I did not ruin my sister's wedding. I ended a pattern. I stopped being the bank and became a father who chooses his children in rooms where they are not wanted. And if one day Jenna throws a backyard barbecue with paper plates and juice boxes and asks if Maya wants to teach her how to make glitter slime, I will bring the glue. I will bring extra. I will show up. Until then, I keep the promise I wrote in that email and repeat it like a prayer when the old reflex tugs at my sleeve. I will not be used. I will not be erased. I love you. These are my boundaries. The end of that is a beginning I can live. As I sit here months later, looking back on that whirlwind of hurt and quiet rebellion, I realize the deepest wound wasn't the money I pulled back or even the wedding I skipped. It was the slow, aching realization that I'd spent years dimming my own light to keep everyone else's shining bright. For so long, being the reliable one felt like my role in the family, like a badge of honor. I'd swallow the exhaustion, ignore the resentment building in my chest, and tell myself it was love. Pure, selfless love. But that text from Jenna, those cold words erasing my kids, as if they were smudges on her perfect picture, it shattered something in me. Not with anger, not at first. It was a profound sadness, the kind that settles heavy in your bones. I mourned the brother I'd been, the one who always fixed things, who made sacrifices without a second thought, believing that if I just gave enough, I'd be seen, truly seen. Instead, I felt invisible. My children, my beautiful, chaotic little miracles reduced to inconveniences that didn't fit the aesthetic. It broke my heart not just for them, but for the version of family I'd clung to, the one where blood meant unconditional inclusion. Canceling that honeymoon booking wasn't revenge, it was release. Clicking that button felt like exhaling after holding my breath for years, and boarding that plane to Paris with Maya and Noah, That was joy, raw, unfiltered joy. Watching their eyes widen at the twinkling Eiffel Tower, hearing their uncontainable laughter echo through those cobblestone streets. It healed parts of me I didn't even know were fractured. For the first time, I wasn't the supporter in the background. I was the center of my own story, building memories that were ours alone, free from expectations or obligations. I'm not bitter anymore. There's a quiet peace in setting those boundaries, in choosing myself and my kids without apology. It hurt to lose the old dynamic, to watch the family chatter fade and the calls go unanswered. But in that space, I found strength I didn't know I had. I grieved the brother who bent over backward, and I welcomed the father who stands tall. Jenna's tentative apology opened a small door, and maybe one day we'll walk through it together. But even if we don't, I'm okay. I've learned that real love doesn't demand erasure, it makes room. And now, my heart is full of room for glitter explosions, dinosaur adventures, and a life where I'm no longer the one who quietly pays the price. I'm just Ethan, dad, protector, finally free.